Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, the DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day for Friday, November the 24th, race number 7 at Del Mar. Let's throw up the field for the Grade 2 Hollywood Turf Cup. $200,000 is the purse. We're traveling 1.5 miles on the turf course. Head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Download your free Formulator past performances and handicap along with us as we take this field in post position order. Matt, the number 1 is Chicago Style, and Chicago Style had a 3-race win streak snapped last time out in the Grade 2 John Henry Turf Championship. I thought, all things considering, he ran well. I don't think there was a lot of pace in that race. The pace held on for most of the way. This horse broke really well, but I understand what Drayden Van Dyke was doing. Let's not fix what's broken. He's a late runner. They took him back off the pace. I wonder with this inside post, if he breaks as alertly, they try to get him just a little bit closer. I think he does have a strong kick, and I think getting back out to 12 furlongs helps him.
He has a very strong kick. I agree with you. He didn't have much pace. You look at the Timeform US situation where they've got it color-coded early on anyway, blue, meaning that there wasn't much as far as speed was signed on. I thought he ran just fine, finished well once they got him out in the clear. 1.5 miles, no problem. The interesting thing is going to be to find out how much money he takes in here, because I think a lot of people look at him. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. This isn't a very good field in the grand scheme of things as far as graded stakes are concerned, and he still feels like the horse that could have more upside.
The number 2 is Lodi, who was cross-entered in the red carpet handicap earlier in the week. She had a terrible post position draw in the red carpet. Maybe she shows up in the Hollywood Turf Cup. If she does, we know the distance really shouldn't work against her. She's okay, but you and I, as you said in the red carpet, we've tried to make her several times. She's disappointed us, and now the buyers are slowly in decline. I'm just not sure, as you said, it's not the strongest Hollywood Turf Cup. I'm just not sure she fits in this spot.
We have seen East Coast horses come west, but it's one of those instances where she's hard to trust, and even if she was at her best, which I don't know if she is or not, I think she'd have a hard time.
Flamboyant was 3rd in this race last year and is coming off of a couple of 3rd place finishes. The Del Mar handicap 2 starts back. I tried to make him in that spot. I thought he ran okay, especially in his first start in about 1.5 months. I won't hold the Canadian International against him. It was just a boggy course that Bullard's Alley absolutely adored. Paddy Gallagher's done a really good job getting this horse back into form, but there are a couple of questions for Flamboyant, who's also, I believe, being considered for the Seabiscuit at a shorter distance on Sunday. One of the questions is distance.
Yes.
Does he want to go the shorter distance of the Seabiscuit? And 2 is Del Mar. He's 0 for 8 on the surface.
He is 0 for 8 over the Del Mar surface. He's run well enough, though, where it doesn't bother me too much. The distance is the big thing for me, and I don't even know if 1 1/16 is really right for him. I think he's in that kind of no man's land where 1 1/8 to 1 1/4. I think that's really when he's at his best. Unfortunately, neither of the options that he has this weekend are those.
The distance is also going to pose a bit of a question for the number 4, Tequila Joe, who is our formulator fact runner, a limited positive formulator fact for trainer Michael McCarthy. Over the past 2 years, with older turf routers making the 3rd start after a layoff of over 45 days, 43%, a 440 ROI. We've seen a natural progression from start to start. He's a son of Stormy Atlantic. And when I see Stormy Atlantic in the pedigree, I usually don't think 12 furlongs.
I kind of look at it and you just see the way that he ran in the Lure most recently. First things first, the Lure was an absolute blanket. You had about 6 horses across the wire. I'm always a little bit dubious about that, even in turf races. He was just a grinder. Now, maybe that's going to translate, but there's a part of me that thinks, I don't know that he's just this good.
Number 5 is Info Badad, who was claimed 2 starts back by Neil Drysdale, probably with the specific purpose of running in that Grade 2 marathon. This horse relishes distance. He ran just fine behind Destin, who's entered in the Clark handicap. I'm just not sure what kind of horse he is. Is he a dirt horse? Is he a turf horse? Distance is fine. We'll know him early, as we see from the Timeform US pace project.
I was going to say, to me, that's the best thing about him, is he's going to be forwardly placed. Now, maybe he doesn't clear off, or maybe he does. I think his only opportunity to win is to try to clear off to the front, but knowing that you've got the other horse in here, one of the 2 in here for Cassidy, I can't imagine him being completely loose on the front.
Jim Cassidy does have the next door neighbors, the 6 Prince of Arabia and the 7 Prime Attraction, who figures to be up on the pace with the 5 Info Padad, according to Timeform US. Prince of Arabia just really hasn't gotten over the hump, at least from a buyer speed figure standpoint. He was sort of stuck at that upper 80s plateau. He came back off of a layoff last time out. Didn't really do much running after getting pinched a bit at the start. I'm not sure where he fits in this race. I think he's in tough.
I agree with you. I mean, you look and see as well. One of his victories came over a dirt track at Los Alamitos. I don't think he's this good.
Prime Attraction, we know, has always had talent.
Yes.
He is not the kind of horse that you and I appreciate because it seems like he doesn't know what he's doing. He'll change leads 10 times in the stretch. He gets very headstrong. He's hard to trust in that situation. But there's no doubt that Cassidy's gotten him good. The Del Mar handicap, he was 95-1. He was up on a solid enough pace. He ran well. He backed that up in the John Henry Turf Classic. Can he relax early, A, and B, can he keep his mind on his business long enough to beat an okay field? Because I really think he's got to be professional to win. And I think he's getting bet off the morning line.
He's very talented. He's not professional. And usually when we complain about lead changes, it's when they're turning for home and they're coming down the stretch when the real running is going on. Maybe they get tired or they pop one way or the other. He does it immediately. You watch his first run by the grandstands, he's going to be flipping them back and forth. That's just what he does. To me, I don't know. At some point, and you can even go back to the John Henry at Santa Anita, that cost him the race there. It's in the post, was a little bit unlucky to get out as late as he did. But if Primer to his left lead late, he wins the race. I have to assume that something similar is going to happen. Until he proves to me that he's going to be professional, I'm going to assume he's going to be unprofessional.
He beat a couple of these horses in the John Henry. The John Henry thus far has not come back to be a very productive race. And if you're just handicapping the race saying, I don't like the John Henry, I like a stranger, and you know the record of East Coast horses shipping west over the years, then Manitoulin looks like a really kind of prime contender because he lost at the post position draw last time out.
Well, he was absurdly wide. He broke from the far outside, and it was a situation where there's not a lot Florent Giroux could do. And then when they started warming up on the far turn, he's wider than wide. He got spun about 10 passes off the rail, and he finished evenly. I don't think that was a bad effort at all. You go to the run two back. I know it wasn't against a great field. Red Rifle, we know Red Rifle. Fire Away just won the Artie Schiller last weekend at Aqueduct. I love the way that this horse finished, and I really think you look at him from a buyer standpoint, the improvement has come since he's been gelded, and I wonder if it's just one of those instances where all of a sudden now he's good and he's focused. I think he's got a big chance.
He certainly looks like a stayer to me. I'm not worried about the 1.5 miles. That win two back came at 1.25 miles, be a grinding it out. He looked good. Inordinate also ran in the John Henry, and he tried to get into it with a 4-wide swing turning into the stretch, and then he does what he does every single race. He'll change back to his left lead and finish evenly. He won the San Juan Capistrano at 14 furlongs, so I'm not worried about distance. Interesting trainer change here.
Yeah, Jack Carava takes over here from Richard Baltus. I don't know what to make of that. I think this horse has races on his page that are competitive. I just don't know that he's ever really been a true killer in any of these spots. I don't like him.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the race of the day. Grade 2 Hollywood Turf Cup. You're going with Manitoulin and Jimmy Toner.
To me, I only want two horses in here. It's either Manitoulin or it's Chicago Style. I think Chicago Style gets bet more heavily than Manitoulin does, and I'll take the East Coast in favor.
I think Manitoulin's got way more tactical speed than Chicago Style. Could get the jump on my pick turning into the stretch. You're going 8-1-3-7. Listen, I just like Chicago Style's progression. I like that he's lightly raced. I don't think he's run his best race yet. He's 2 for 2 at Del Mar. Compromised, I think, by pace last time and by a shorter distance. I think getting back to this distance, I'll give him a fair chance from a pace standpoint, and he'll come rolling in the stretch. I think he's got the most upside of anyone in this field. 1-7-3-9 for me in the Grade 2 Hollywood Turf Cup. If you're betting the Friday Del Mar card from home, $300 sign-up bonus at DRF.com/fall when you sign up to DRF Bets by using the promo code FALL300, and approximate post time for the Turf Cup, 3:30 Pacific on Friday,